Benvenuto. Welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today, we're going back to the 1970s for me. Something that my mom used to make, actually something my mom's mom used to make for her. We're going to make creamed chipped beef on toast. So that's creamed chipped beef on toast. Or some of you that have had this may know it by S.O.S, stuff on a shingle, or that's the polite way to say it, or it's blank on a shingle and the blank rhymes with it. So I'm sure you can figure it out. But anyway, again, this is something that takes me back to my childhood. I haven't made this in a number of years, but I was going through my recipes and I thought, oh, hey, I haven't made that in a long time. Let's make that tonight. This is a dish that probably originated maybe World War I, World War II. The story goes that this is something that was served in the military, in military mess halls, in the United States and across the fronts of wherever our country was. It was typically served for breakfast. My mother made it for breakfast and supper sometimes. And we would have it, maybe once or twice a month at the most. And I always enjoyed it a lot. Well, can even remember having it when he was a little kid and his dad was in the service. So maybe that's what its origins are. So anyway, what do we need for S.O.S? We need some dried and cured beef. All right, up in our area, it's by Hormel. And it's just this little 5-ounce can of dried and cured beef. Now, this is very, very, very salty. It's cured with salt, so it is very salty. So while it's not 100% necessary, I do give it a good rinse just to take off some of the salt. We're not going to put any other additional salt probably in this recipe, but we will do some black pepper. Now, so when you open this, you're going to find this like where the tuna fish and Spam and stuff like that is. Now, I've already opened it, so you're not going to hear a pop. But remember, when you open it, you want to hear that nice pop that it's nice and fresh and it hasn't been opened. All right, we'll get to that in a little bit more. So really what cream chipped beef on toast is your beef, and then we're going to make a cream sauce or a white sauce. All right, so for that, and this recipe is going to we'll serve 4 easily, especially 4 for breakfast if you have it with eggs or something as well. It's an extremely economical dish. You can double this. You can double your gravy, use the same amount of beef, and you can stretch it even further. So anyway, we're going to need 2 cups of whole milk. You could use 2%. You would probably not use less than 2%, because although we do put some butter in it, we want it to have that creaminess. And then for 2 cups of whole milk, we need 4 cups of unsalted butter. In this case, it is important to use the unsalted butter because it is very salty. Then we're going to need some 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. So 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons all-purpose flour, and 2 cups of milk. Of course, Wade's going to have this all written up on the video for you anyway. Then you need some toast, okay? So I've just got 2 slices of white toast, toasted nice. The way my mom used to do it when we were little is she would cut it into strips like this. And put it back on the plate before she poured the gravy on top of it. The idea behind that is it gets into the cracks and the crevices. All right, I'm going to do ours tonight with a little with some Texas toast, make it a little bit fancier. But my mom did it 2 ways. Like I said, she did it for breakfast, and she also did it sometimes for supper. So when she did it for breakfast, she didn't add sweet peas. When she did it for supper, she would add sweet peas. So believe it or not, other than a little bit of pepper, that's all this delicious recipe calls for. So before I clean the rest of this up, we're going to go on with our beef because I'm going to give it a little bit of a soak. So I just kind of take it all out of the pan or the jar, I should say. Kind of put it into, so it's kind of like salami or pepperoni, but it's not spicy. But it is very salty. That's why it's opened, because I wanted to taste it. So I'll just kind of put them like that. I'll put this over there for now, just because it's going to be a lot to handle. All right, and then you can cut it any way you want. Cut it into strips, like that. My mom did cut it again like that into little pieces, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. This is one of those things that if my mom was just doing a quick dinner, she would make this. And of course, our house was the house where all the kids came to. So, whether there was just our family or 3 or 4 of our friends, you could easily just increase your gravy and it would stretch it. So then I'm going to just take this and I'm going to put it into some fresh, clean water. Now, depending upon how many times you want to soak it or for how long, that's up to you. Of course, if you do a couple rinses like this, you're going to, take off more and more salt. I find that a good little soak while I'm getting everything else ready is enough. Give it a little stir, and I'm just going to let it sit in there for a few minutes. And then I'm going to drain it. You can see the water has already gotten quite a bit of the salt has already come out of there. So the water changed color a little bit. It is very salty, as I said. All right, I'm going to clean up the rest of this. This recipe comes together so quick, you won't believe it. We'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, so I've let my cured beef, it's probably been soaked for 3-4 minutes while I was cleaning that up. For me, that's enough. You might, if you want to bring down the salt content a little bit more, strain this, put fresh water in, let it sit for a couple seconds, and for however long you want to remove some of the salt. All right, put that back in there, let that start draining. All right, so I've got my pan heated up. And again, you don't need to drag out your Dutch oven. You can do this in a frying pan. I didn't want to have to wash my cast iron frying pan, so I decided to do it in this. All right, so I'm going to throw our butter in. And get that melted. If I had chopped that up, it would have melted faster, but who doesn't like watching butter melt in a hot pan? So this is, just kind of the same technique of how you make a white sauce or a white gravy. You do the same thing if you were making sausage and biscuits, and it would be bubbling all around. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. All right, and then we're going to add our flour in. And we're going to give it a good stir. And we're going to just stir it around for 2-3 minutes. Again, we don't need to brown it. I'm going to keep the sauce white. But as we've said, and I'm sure you all know, we just want to kind of cook off a little bit of the floury taste. So if you keep it moving, you won't burn it. And the best way to tell it is now, like, there's all the flour smell is gone. You know that kind of how flour smells when you take it out of the package or out of your flour canister. All right. So then we can start to drizzle our milk in. And you'll see it almost, it's gonna look like you've got some lumps, but it's gonna thin out really fast. And that's all there is to it. It's already gotten thicker, so you just kind of want to stand by it and stir until it reaches the thickness you want. And that's probably going to take a good 3-4 minutes. So we'll be back then. All right, you'll see our sauce is nice and smooth. It's at the thickness I want it to be. All right, I'm going to give it a good shot of some freshly ground black pepper. All right, I got my beef here. I'm just going to dry it off a little bit with the paper towel. Very good. I'm going to add our chipped beef in there. And give it a good stir. And that is almost ready, believe it or not. We're going to just let this come, get the beef warmed through. And right now I've got my S.O.S on low. I'm going to give it a taste. I don't think we're going to need to add any salt, but we might add a little more pepper. I think I might actually add a little salt. I let it soak a little too long. We'll just add a couple pinches. And add a little bit more pepper. This is really just a straightforward quick breakfast or quick dinner. All right. Give that one more little stir, and I'm going to let that just stay on low for 2 or 3 minutes to make sure it gets all nice and heated through. See you then. Okay, so for breakfast, my mom would make some scrambled eggs. And you could do this with one piece of toast too, depending upon, if it's a child or not. She just ladle a little bit over like that. And I would say you're probably going to look at least if you want to, watch how much you're spending on this, probably about a half cup per serving for 2 pieces of toast. And there you have it. You might even see this sometimes in those greasy spoon restaurants or diners, which we all love so much. A lot of times that might be on the menu. All right, then for supper, if we were having it for a later meal, my mom would put, I've got just frozen peas. Mine are already unthawed because, of course, I was getting it ready. So she'd put a couple peas in there. Or a cup of peas, or if you were doubling it, how many ever you like. All right, so the only thing left to do now is, again, let that come to a nice warm temperature, and we'll be ready to eat. See you at supper time. Okay, it's time to eat. Let's dig on in. So this is the one that I did with the Texas toast. Mm-hmm. I didn't make the Texas toast, guys. No, I bought it. It was frozen. You got some nice beef and the toast.
Oh, good. Delicious. Wow.
Tasty. It's just like being eating again. Wish my mom was here.
Imagine, because I was a kid.
I haven't made this for you in all these years.
That's good.
Tasty.
Let's see if you're having this with some eggs for breakfast.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Or of course you have a nice salad with it or something for your evening meal. I'm gonna kind of taste the breakfast version. I'm sure we'll eat the rest of this all by tonight anyway. Maybe not right now, but I'm gonna taste this one.
Yeah.
Delicious. That with some scrambled eggs would be
Yeah.
marvelous. Does even have a little bit different taste because of the bread.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my dinner, so that's all I have to say.
Please like and subscribe. Check out cherryhillhomecooking.com. See you in the next video.
Thank you guys for all your support. Ciao.
Bye.
Tasty.
It is.
No?
Yeah, it is.
And it really is an economical, nice, filling meal.
Yeah.